Hello Monty, this is Bud Hoffman. I want to put together a little video here of what's expected to do on the day that we do the controller swap out on the V3240 system. On the right here I have the assumed failed component, and on the left here I have what we are actually going to ship you. So I'll go into the procedure. Most important right out of the gate is that, let's go to the failed, is to mark each of your cables accordingly with the letters on here. If you have cables coming out of here, if you have SAS cables coming out, the one on the left is OA, the one on the right is OB, the COA, COB, OC, OD, EOA, EOB, and you've got your two wrench ports. Wherever your cable's plugged into, just make sure they're marked accordingly. This will be the port that Dave will instruct you to take your serial connection into from your laptop. So that's basically it on the cable markings. But just please be accurate. You know how important it is to make sure that cables go into the right place. So I'm going to hand the camera over to Eric right now, and he's going to follow me through the removal of the PCI cards, because you have a PCI card in slot 1 and slot 2, and I think my video may be accurate as far as the ones I selected. You'll also be swapping out the boot chip, which is in this little blue door. That boot chip will be going into the replacement head socket. All four of the DIMMs, and I would keep them in order. All four of these DIMMs have to be moved to the replacement head. And then finally, we'll go through the battery swap out, which can be a little tricky, and we'll go through that. So Eric is going to take the camera. First thing I'd like to do is pick up the unit, put it on its side, open the back door. There's a bit of a hinge on this end, and I think you'll see it. You've probably seen these before. Kind of a pseudo hinge, if you will. We will take out, I'll start with slot number 2 because it's the closest. I'll pop out that PCI card, put it down for the moment. I'll open up the replacement head and place that card into slot number 2. Be mindful of the tab going through the slot on the bottom, and of course this takes a little bit of effort sometime. Get that slot through the bottom and then allow the gold contacts to make their way into the connector at the bottom. My thumb here is going to show you how far down this has to go. That's seated properly, as you can tell. We move right next again to the other card, which is your 2-port fiber channel 10 gig card. Sometimes these are tough to remove. Again, removing that, placing it into the replacement head. Make sure the bottom tab makes its way into the slot. And again, pressing that all the way down until it touches the foam that's in there. There's your hinge, goes into 2 little slots here. Sometimes easier said than done. There we go. Thumb screw at the top, and you're done with the PCI cards. Next thing I'd like to do is remove the boot chip. You take the boot chip from the failed head, remove it. There's 2 little finger and thumb places, and you want to guide those onto the pins and this little locator tab that is in on the other side. That one went in quite nicely. Sometimes they're a little tricky. Close the door, and then we are going to transfer each of the memory DIMMs. I'm going to start with number 4 and put that into slot number 4. Oop. And I'm sure you've done hundreds of these, Monty, in your lifetime. So this will be just a couple more. Make sure your tabs are open to allow you to slide in. I must have bumped that one. Press in firmly, and with your fingers, make sure that the locking tabs are in place. 2 to go. There you go. Tabs are locked. Finally, the last one. Again, seated and locked in place. The next item that we are going to swap out is the battery itself. You're going to see an arrow stamped in the steel in 2 places. You're going to see blue markings on the battery chassis itself. Move the battery into the north position so that those there is a release here. My thumb is on the release tab, and we're actually going to pull that out. No, you're going to make a liar out of me. Yes, pull out, and that releases the battery. There are a couple of wires that are to a connector. You'll see a tab that you'll squeeze to remove the battery. We'll place that down. We'll do the same on the replacement unit. That one just fell out practically. And we will take, well, again, line up those 2 arrows and then pull it towards you. And then the connector with the release tab away from you, plug in place, make sure it's secure. That is about it. You can close the door and then take your replacement head and place it into the chassis that you removed the failed one from. That is it. During this operation, Dave will already be WebExed or team viewed into your laptop with, you will have your connection from your laptop to the serial port, again, which is the serial port is right there. Dave will give you all the commands over the phone of when to make these moves. So that's it for this video.